Here's the scary truth behind Peppa Pig. Peppa Pig was diagnosed with cancer at just 2 years old and spent most of her early life in bed. She needed constant assistance and 24-hour supervision just to keep her alive. Peppa was a burden and embarrassment for the entire family. When her dad finally had enough, he got a horrific idea. He chained Peppa to her bed so she could never leave her own room. Years later, the parents had another child whom they also named Peppa. This Peppa replaced the original Peppa, who is still locked in her room. Now, if you Google Peppa Pig house wallpaper, something horrifying comes up. At first glance, this looks like a normal picture, but if you look closer, you can see the original Peppa still locked inside her room.
Let's meet one of our most venomous creatures. A rescue sea snake.
Creepy facts I bet you didn't know, part 1. Your lips and anus are connected by the same tube. 90% of serial killers choose their victims by sexual desire. Your organs move freely around your body. Crows used to follow armies to feed on dead bodies. Human sacrifice was a real thing in Aztec Mexico.
Crazy facts about the human body. Part 1. If your immune system knew your eyes existed, it would attack your eyes, causing you to go blind. Most people blink 15 to 20 times a minute, with women blinking more than men, and our eyes are closed for about 10% of our waking life. Freckles aren't a sign of sun damage, but actually a natural protectant against the UV rays from the sun.
Warning, you are all eating your own poop, and I'm gonna teach you how not to do that. Well, you know how you poop and fart in the bathroom? Well, like it or not, but as soon as you do that, millions of poop particles fly around your bathroom. And they eventually like nice places like your toothbrush where they land on. So yeah, your mom and dad's poop can be on your toothbrush too. The right way to store your toothbrush is in your bedroom somewhere safe or on your nightstand. But yeah, I'm not gonna forget that you ate your own poop. Like this video if you want more helpful facts.
This scary fact will blow your minds and will make you question literally everything. It is believed in many cultures that if you can remember your dream when you wake up in the morning, then it wasn't necessarily a random dream. Rather, it was a message. So let me know what the last dream you remember is, because it most likely means something. Share this with a friend. Elon!
Our Sun versus the biggest star in the known universe. The Sun is really massive. It weighs 333,000 times more than the Earth. The second largest star in the universe is Bat 99 to 98. It weighs approximately 226 times the mass of the Sun. It is located 165,000 light-years from Earth. The largest known star, Westerhout 49 to 2, is 250 times the size of the Sun and is 36,200 light-years from Earth.
Alright, so moose drop their antlers every year but grow them back in the spring because they use them to flex for females. And at first the antlers grow inside this soft skin with tiny hairs called velvet. But eventually the moose has a surge of testosterone where they basically become 7-foot frat boys on spring break. That's when the velvet sheds and the bones of the antlers harden. The velvet stays on the antlers for about 3 to 4 months until the moose rubs up against trees and bushes to remove them. Which is why they look like they bundied somebody. As much of a hate crime as this looks like, it doesn't hurt the moose at all, and it's a lot like snakes shedding their skin. If anything, it's more like an annoying itch. Also, when a bull moose wants to pull a female, they use cologne just like you and me. Except their version involves digging a pit, peeing into the pit, and then rubbing and splashing a golden pool all over their antlers the R. Kelly way. Clearly they know what they're doing because smelling liquid sunshine causes the female moose to ovulate because nature's just weird like that.
Horror movie facts that will haunt your nightmares. Part 2. Coraline. The soundtrack in the movie is a French children choir singing. Surprisingly, they aren't actually singing in French. They're singing in a completely made-up language. If you look on the wall of the dining room in the other mother's home, you'll see 3 portraits of silhouettes. These likely represent the 3 ghost children that appear later in the film. In the normal world, the boy is sad and has dropped his ice cream. But in the other world, he's happy and his ice cream is perfect. On the back of the chair above where Coraline's doll sits features a small flower-shaped pattern. And this flower is almost exactly like the one on the back of Jack Torrance's chair in The Shining. The Welcome Home cake features a double loop on the O. And according to graphology, a double loop on the lowercase o means that the person who wrote it is not telling the truth. But on the cake, there is actually only one double loop, meaning that Coraline is welcome, but she is not home.
Explaining the backstory to viral videos.
While this may appear to be a seemingly innocent video of a boy dragging a trash can with a dog barking at it, what may surprise you is that inside of that trash can is the body of the boy's high school math teacher, Coraline Ritzer. And on October 22nd, 2013, she asked one of her students, Philip Chisholm, to talk to her after class. Philip had recently moved from Tennessee, and when Coraline brought this up in conversation, Philip got extremely upset, so she changed the conversation immediately. At around 3 o'clock, Miss Ritzer got up to go use the restroom, and a few minutes later, Philip followed behind her. It was there that he pulled out a box cutter and slit her throat 16 times before raping her. Philip calmly walked out of the bathroom and returned about 10 minutes later wearing a new set of clothes and carrying a trash bin alongside him. Security cameras outside of the school show Philip rolling the bin with her body into the woods. At this point, Coraline is barely alive. Philip dumps her body onto the ground and shoves a tree branch inside of her. He leaves the scene with his teacher's credit card and uses it to buy Taco Bell and go and see a Woody Allen movie. Philip Chisholm was caught later that night and was sentenced to 40 years in prison.
Armed with 4 razor-sharp fangs and a projectile mouth called a proboscis, they are voracious predators and are as aggressive as they are bizarre. One of the most shocking things about these worms is how normal they can appear and then in a split second transform into one of the most alien-looking life forms you've ever seen. And as if this wasn't creepy enough, things get even worse. Once the bloodworm has its prey ensnared in those hooked jaws, it will inject it with a paralyzing venom that incapacitates the victim, so it can be digested and eaten alive. This venom is chemically similar to that of a scorpion and is known to cause severe reactions in humans, including burning, tissue damage, and anaphylactic shock. Please do not attempt what you're about to see. Oh, almost got it. Ah, I missed it. Oh, come on. All right. I got it. Oh, wants to bite me. That is the proboscis of one of the biggest bloodworms I have ever seen